Quiet.
So we're heading up today to a location that we frequently go caving, and what we've got here is an aerial photograph that Jeff has managed to get off the internet. This is something we want to check out along route. Okay, check this out, right? A little bit of a stream going along, just stops dead. That's an example of something you'd see on an aerial photograph that would definitely indicate a sinkhole. And add to it, there's another one. There's nothing leading up to it, so it's collapsing from beneath. That suggests that there's obviously some kind of underground conduit, right? The water sinks here, and the tunnel flows along. So when you see a line of these type of sinkholes, they're all lined up, that's definitely telling that there's something beneath that needs investigation. So we're going to check that out on our way up to the area that we're headed. So we're getting close to our spot where we think the sinkhole might be. We're gonna have to ask the landowner for permission, obviously, to go back and have a look. So I don't know. Let's hope we can set a good impression. Oh yeah. So look at this, eh? I mean, the farmer, he wasn't so keen on us seeing the stuff I showed you in the aerial photo, but he says this thing fills up and then runs across the top of the field as well. Obviously it's a sinkhole. Water table here. So, I mean, no question in my mind, there's some tunnels under there if the actual rocks were moved. This is definitely an example of a spot which would be a cave dive. You know, you can see this blackness down beyond. It's hard to show you, and I've been poking away with a stick into all of this. And oh, falling over here, being careful. So, I mean, it's, you know, boulders in here. Typical, the farmers just throw the boulders in, but down beneath there's going to be passage for sure. Very interesting. So when I'm talking a cave dive, I'm talking an Ontario cave dive, which is, as David Sawatsky points out in my book, Caving in Ontario, an entirely different matter from, say, diving in a place like Tulum, Mexico, or something like that. So, just reading from my actual book, as Sawatsky points out, in an interview that I had with him, the easiest cave dive in Canada would be considered advanced by international standards. There's no cave dive in Canada that is within the rules or limitations of basic cave dive training. So, I mean, that from my chapter there, the Sleepy Hollow Resurgence, which is just this odd bubbling pool somewhere near Hamilton, up which David Sawatsky and another cave diver had actually explored. Just again, that is definitely an advanced cave dive, not something you would do in, say, Mexico. It's about this deep. It's say about 3.5 feet. I've just poked it through into like the cavity, like a tunnel almost. I guess it must be between the rocks, and 3.5 feet down there. So that's what you're looking at for a tunnel height at the very least, flowing through the field. You know, when we see a tunnel, you know, obviously there is a water-filled tunnel there, which is a cave dive, as I say. I mean, where else is it coming from? The stream doesn't actually flow into there. There's no stream per se. It's just runoff with a sinkhole, but it's coming from somewhere. We're thinking over that way. So just to conclude on this particular sinkhole out in the farmer's field, as you can see, I'm now home, muddy and tired and cold and what have you. But we were talking in the car, Jeff and I, and we started thinking about it, and like, why does it fill up? How does it fill up? There's not enough surface drainage to fill a hole of that size from, you know, the size of the field and what have you. We're thinking maybe under artesian pressure it's backing up. The system itself is backing up, you know, after heavy rain or, you know, a lot of melt and runoff and what have you. Somewhere further back, higher up in the system, the water's running in. This is midway. This particular hole is midway along in the system, and it just kind of backfills, rises right to the top of the sinkhole, and then, as the farmer says, runs across the field and joins the other sinkholes that you actually saw on the aerial photograph. So I mean, that's kind of our theory. We'd probably have to probe around the area a little bit more, but certainly it is definitely a cave dive. You know, just pulling out the boulders and so forth, and there you go, right?